Hi. Welcome to Tap Tech. This is Samsung's biggest and most premium tablet to date. In this video, I'll talk about everything I've experienced using it. I'll share my thoughts as a regular user. I'll compare it to the S9 Ultra and even the S8 Ultra. I'll also show you how it compares with the smaller Tab S10 Plus. At the end, I'll help you decide if it's worth spending so much money on this device. Let's start with the price. When the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra launched, the retail price was $1,200. That's definitely a high number for a tablet. But Samsung has made it easier to get a better deal. Right now, they're offering $200 off. You can also trade in any tablet and get another $300 discount. So you can actually buy this for around $700 or even less. It depends on the trade-in value of your device. Compared to the regular price, that's a much better deal. At this price, you're getting one of the most powerful Android tablets available. But if you're hoping for a big upgrade from last year's model, the truth is, there's not much that's different. This is probably the smallest update I've seen between two Samsung tablets. Most of the specs are the same. Most of the design is the same. Even the software experience feels almost unchanged, but even with all that, I still decided to upgrade from the S9 Ultra. The main reason? The new anti-reflective display. This is the biggest improvement on the S10 Ultra. And even though it's the only real upgrade, it's a big one for me. I use my tablet in a bright room. I also sometimes use it outdoors. Reflections have always been a problem on my older tablets. The S9 Ultra's display was beautiful, but very reflective. I could always see my face, my hands, and the lights above me on the screen. It made watching videos less enjoyable. It made reading hard. I had to turn the brightness all the way up just to see clearly. That drained the battery quickly too. Now with the S10 Ultra, it's a very different story. The anti-reflective coating really works. It cuts down glare without ruining the display quality. Even at lower brightness, the screen looks clear and bright. I can finally use it at 30% to 50% brightness and still see everything comfortably. I've tested it side by side with the S9 Ultra. At the same brightness level, the S10 Ultra shows fewer reflections. My face doesn't bounce back from the screen anymore. The lights on my ceiling don't show as harsh white spots. That makes it easier to focus on what I'm doing. It also saves battery, because I don't need to keep the brightness so high all the time. A big concern people have with anti-glare screens is image quality. Some displays with matte finishes look dull or grainy. On my iPad Pro with the Nano texture screen, the colors don't look as bright. Text isn't as sharp. I always end up increasing the brightness. But on the S10 Ultra, that's not a problem. The screen is still OLED. It still looks rich and colorful. I can't see any drop in sharpness. Everything from movies to games to documents looks the same as it did on the S9 Ultra, just with less glare. So even though this may seem like a small upgrade, it changes the whole experience for me. I enjoy using the tablet more. It's easier on my eyes. I can use it longer, in more places, without discomfort. Let's talk about the design now. The S10 Ultra looks almost the same as the S9 Ultra. The build is still solid. It's thin and light, considering how big the screen is. The bezels are slim, and the tablet feels premium in hand. There's still a notch at the top, but it's small. I forget it's even there most of the time. The tablet is huge. At 14.6 inches, it's the biggest screen you can get on a Samsung device. That's bigger than most laptops. And that's where the magic begins. The size gives you a lot of room to work, read, write, draw, watch, and play. It's more than just a tablet. For me, it's become a laptop replacement. Now let's talk about software. If you've used any recent Samsung phone or tablet, you'll feel right at home. It runs One UI on top of Android. It's fast, clean, and full of features. But where it stands out is multitasking. On a small tablet, multitasking can feel cramped. But on the S10 Ultra, it feels natural. You can open up to 3 apps side by side. You can even float a 4th window on top. The big screen makes it easy to read, scroll, and interact with all the apps. I often write in one app while keeping a browser and a note app open beside it. I don't feel like I'm missing space. That's something I can't do on smaller tablets. Samsung DeX also adds a desktop-like experience. It changes the layout into something like Windows or macOS. You get a taskbar. You can move windows around. You can resize apps. It's a nice way to work when you connect a keyboard and mouse. The experience is smooth. I didn't run into bugs or lag. Apps switch quickly. Everything feels snappy. The tablet uses the new Dimensity 9300 Plus chip. It's powerful and efficient. I haven't had any issues with performance. Gaming is also very smooth. I play emulated games, and they run perfectly. On my older S8 Ultra, I had issues with frame drops. That used the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. But the S10 Ultra doesn't have those problems. The games stay at full speed. That makes a big difference if you play often. I also use the official keyboard case. It's not cheap, but it makes the tablet feel like a real laptop. The keys are backlit. The trackpad is smooth. The keyboard is full size, so typing is easy. I use it to write long documents and emails. I've even used it to write video scripts. It's more comfortable than some laptops I've used, and when I don't need the keyboard, I can just take it off. That's the beauty of it. The back part stays on. It has a built-in stand. I can prop up the tablet anywhere. That makes it flexible. I can switch between work and play without needing to carry a heavy keyboard, compared to the iPad Pro's Magic Keyboard. This is a better system for me. On the iPad, you either carry the whole case or leave it behind. There's no in-between. But with the S10 Ultra, I get the best of both. Now, about the battery. I've been impressed. On my S8 Ultra, I used to get about 5 hours of screen time over 2 days. That wasn't enough. But on the S10 Ultra, I get around 7.5 hours of screen time over 2 to 4 days. Sometimes I even get 8 to 9 hours if I'm using it in short bursts. That's with mixed use, writing, watching videos, browsing the web, and playing games. The standby time is also good. If I leave it on the table for a day, the battery barely drops. I think the new chip and software optimization help a lot here. Charging is fast too. It supports 45W fast charging. That gets me from 0 to full in a little over an hour and a half. I usually top it off once every few days. I don't feel battery anxiety with this tablet. Let's talk about the cameras now. The front has 2 lenses. One is wide. One is ultra wide. That helps with video calls. You can stay in the center even if you move around. The video quality is good. It records in 4K, but only at 30 frames per second. I wish there was a 60 frames per second option. That would make videos smoother. The back camera is decent. It takes okay pictures. But let's be honest. You're not buying this tablet for photography. I've only used the rear camera a couple of times. It's there if you need it, but it's not a highlight. Now about the S Pen. It comes in the box. That's great. It's still magnetic and charges on the back. The writing experience is smooth and accurate. It feels like writing on paper. I use it to take notes, draw sketches, and navigate around. It works well in Samsung Notes and other apps. Of the tablet and S Pen are both water and dust resistant. That adds peace of mind. You don't have to worry about a splash or a bit of rain. It's just more durable overall. The speakers are loud and clear. They're tuned well, even though the AKG branding is gone. Watching movies and listening to music is a great experience. The sound fills the room. I don't feel the need to connect headphones unless I want privacy. Let's talk about the notch again. Yes, it's still there. But it's small. It houses the cameras and sensors. I don't find it annoying. It disappears when I'm using the tablet. Some people hate notches. But for me, this one is fine. Samsung also released a new keyboard case with a Galaxy AI key. But you don't need to buy it. You can still use the older S9 Ultra keyboard case. That's what I'm doing. It works perfectly with the S10 Ultra. It saves money too. The new case costs $350. The old one can be found for much less. So, who should buy the S10 Ultra? If you want a large screen, great multitasking, and a premium feel, this is a top choice. If you already have the S9 Ultra, the upgrade only makes sense if you really care about screen glare. That one feature makes a big difference. But if glare isn't a problem for you, the S9 Ultra is still very good. If you have the S8 Ultra or older, then yes, the S10 Ultra is a clear upgrade. It's faster, has better battery life, and a much better display. It also has better build quality and smoother software. At the end of the day, this tablet is expensive. But it's also packed with value. The anti-reflective display alone makes using it more enjoyable. The screen is beautiful. The speakers are loud. The performance is smooth. The battery lasts. The software is useful. The S Pen works great. And the overall experience is excellent. So, if you're okay with the price, the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra is a powerful, versatile device. It can be your laptop, your notepad, your TV, and your sketchbook all in one. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, leave a like before you go. See you next time.